from a bad place, oh yeah. Tryna be a better me just for you. But it ain't easy, it's hard to get used to. Minding my own business, I'm not worried about what he do. Cause nowadays all it is to be see-through. I always said this is that I'm staying around people. Finding my own path like I'm writing my own sequel. Two-faced people all around, they be equal. 2021, you can never trust nobody. Good and bad thoughts on my mind, they be crowded. Pushing to get past his limits, then he bought it. Family work hard, but I never catch them frowning. Came a long way in my drip, now I be drowning. They dying, I hear got some hearts pounded. Multi-talented, my passion, I haven't found it. Yeah, in my home, I was never ever doubted. I'm here from a bad place, oh yeah. Tryna be a better me just for you. But it ain't easy, it's hard to get used to. Minding my own business, I'm not worried about what he do. Cause nowadays all it makes to be see-through. I always said this is that I'm staying around people.
Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Liverpool have just annihilated, destroy Tottenham Hotspurs. Liverpool have just taken Tottenham to the cleaners. Liverpool have just put the final nail in the coffin for Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur just laid to rest by Liverpool. Liverpool just drive up and take each and everything that Tottenham have left and just put the final nail in the coffin. Now taking Tottenham to the funeral home where they're going to lay Tottenham to rest. Tottenham can now rest in peace, finally, rest in peace. Tottenham Hotspur, at the White Hart Lane, that's where the funeral service has just finished and wrapped up. Only thing left for Liverpool to do now is to knock them out of the League Cup and put cement over the coffin or the headstone, to put the headstone, where Tottenham have been buried. So Tottenham have laid to rest by Liverpool, finally. Can we say Tottenham is a top 6 team? I don't think so. But for sure, I know for a fact that they just laid Tottenham to rest. And after they play the League Cup semi-final, if Liverpool go on to beat Tottenham in that League Cup semi-final and knock them out, the only thing they have to do is put the headstone there and just call it a loss. So all Tottenham fans, I'm sorry for your loss. It's unfortunate, that you guys gone so soon. It's so early, for us to say Tottenham have laid to rest, finally laid to rest. But ladies and gentlemen, it's not only about Tottenham. What a performance from no other than Liverpool. Liverpool showed that this is no 2-horse race or 3-horse race. This is a 1-horse race at this moment. Chelsea's not really a title contender right now at the moment. Liverpool is just there by themselves. They dropped few points in the December period already, but they show how dangerous they can be, when they're on it. And for me right now, Liverpool is the team to beat. And welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen, to your Top 8 show, where we're going to go to the best 8 team that we think in the Premier League. Tottenham have been relegated out of the top 8 for this season for right now. So I think Brighton is the team that get promoted. So Brighton is the team that get promoted, and Tottenham is the team that get relegated so far in the Premier League. And also, we're about to relegate the no other than the Manchester United too. If they don't get their form up and running, we're definitely gonna give them a relegation. They're sitting right there in the relegation zone. But let us talk about the mighty Liverpool. Liverpool today have taken Tottenham Hotspur, to nail the final nail in the coffin and lay them to rest. Oh, make their soul rest in peace over there. But it's a game that show the quality, of this Liverpool team. Defensively, they let in few goals, which is good for me because I'm a Chelsea fan. But the reason why I said that, because the 14 goal that conceded in in the Premier League, that record is still gonna stay top with Chelsea, because now Liverpool like already conceded about 16 goals, I think. So right now are 17 goals. So right now I don't have to worry about that. But can anyone stop Liverpool? For right now, I don't think so. Liverpool look like they are really the team to beat. Big up DZ. I know you're enjoying it over there, bro. Big up yourself. Yeah, but Liverpool is a team to beat at this moment. Liverpool definitely look like they are the only one in this title race. Consistent. Mo Salah right now is playing like the best player in the world at this time, at this moment. The one and only Mo Salah. You know, for me, anyone gonna say that Mo Salah not amongst the conversation of the GOAT in the Premier League, being telling themselves a lie. I think Mo Salah right now is up there with the likes of your Thierry Henry, and all of these greats that play in the Premier League. You can put Mo Salah amongst all the greatest, because he proved, or this season he be proving that he's up there against amongst some of the greats. The goals that he been scoring, Mo Salah have scored 83. Not only score, the total with goal and assist, 83 goals against the Premier League top 6 team. Big up, Myra, big up, bro. Yeah, so Liverpool is and Mo Salah is doing wonders. That's why I'm saying right here that don't put Chelsea in this title race. With this Liverpool team at this moment. I know Slot is a new manager in the Premier League, but he have a team that's I've already got experience. This is a very experienced Liverpool team, a team that know how to do it and how to cross a line, because they already done it before. I know they got few addition to it, some young players, but look at their spine. The goalkeeper already been there and done it. Look at the defensive line, players that's already in there. I've been there, done that. If you go to their midfield, it's the same thing. Anywhere you take it, Liverpool already have players that already been there and done it. So for me, Liverpool is the only one in this title race at this moment. Let us wait and see how the December period is gonna be finished before we continue to say who is in the title race. But for right now, Liverpool is the team to beat. Welcome to the show, Myron.
Yo, big up, long time, brother. Welcome.
Big up, big up, big up, bro. Big up, bro.
Big up, yeah.
I don't know if you hear my rant on Tottenham Hotspur, bro. They finally laid to rest. They finally put their nail in the coffin.
Yeah, hey, man, like we always speak about Tottenham, they're only gonna be known for having a big stadium. That's it. That is it. And yeah, I mean, it's very, very, very difficult right now. Tough moment for Tottenham. So I think maybe Ange is gonna get fired. Maybe you will see a second real soon. But yeah, it's really tough for Tottenham, man.
Yeah, but you think that second hand should be the way for their team, because if you notice, Tottenham already have some of the best manager in the world there, and they still couldn't cross the line. They still haven't win a trophy. If you look at Conte, Jose Mourinho, look at some of those big names, winning names, manager that went there and still couldn't turn that team around. So if they sack Ange, I don't think that would be a good deal, in my opinion, because of the board is just the one of the biggest problem there. That's just my take on it, though. But I know your take probably different.
Mm, No, I do agree with you. I think it also comes to the board, especially with the sporting director. Like, I mean, as you can say, I don't think Tottenham has ambition to like even try and win a trophy, even try to probably take Tottenham to the next level. The board don't have ambition. The board doesn't want to even back the manager. I mean, you're gonna buy Archie Gray, all those young players to start in the Prem. Man, you have to give those young players 2 or 3 seasons. But hey, like I said, it's all down to the board. I think um the owner came in and had a different approach for Tottenham Hotspurs. I think they wanted to make their club to expand a bit wider, especially on the outside. So that's where they had to take time, probably investing on the stadium instead of like probably investing on a good scout, good sporting director, even good players, and try to win trophies, try to make history in the football world. But they, as we speaking, I don't think Tottenham will be doing this in the next 5, 10 years time. I'll be looking at Tottenham as a mid-table club now, man. So it's kind of sad for them right now.
Yeah, and you're 100% correct. Big up Miss Rosie and happy holidays. The holidays, the festive series, the series of the holidays, it just coming so quick that sometimes you don't even know how the day or even go by so quick. Like the holiday season, man, is just a season that we all just wait on. Ain't that right, Myri?
Yep, yep. I'm actually spending some time alone on the holiday season, so luckily you guys will be having with family and all that stuff.
Yeah, man. I told you, man. I go to my bed 2 a.m. this morning, and I have to be up by nine, by eight, not nine, by 8 o'clock to watch Chelsea game. So to show you that the sleep was kind of less, during these holiday time, but it's well worth it, because we got some wonderful football games going on. We're gonna move on to Mo Salah. What a legend in the Premier League. This man gonna be remembered for generation to come for what he been doing in the Premier League since he arrived. At Chelsea, unfortunate, and then leave and then come back and prove that he just need a little bit of time to settle in. And now, for me, he is one of the goat.
Yeah, I same here. I think I think Mo Salah is the best player in the world right now, man. I mean, name me one player that has 15 goals and 10 assists so far before Christmas. Man, this guy stepped into another level where I think no one in his generation could do. I mean, he could do more than Messi and Ronaldo, maybe to have his say in that category. But man, Mo Salah right now is the best player in the whole world, man. I don't have anyone in my mind that is better than Mo Salah at the moment. No, a lot of people say Yamil Yamal, but man, Yamil Yamal, bro, is not doing what Mo Salah is doing right now in the Premier League, especially in La Liga. So I I I, I do agree that Mo Salah right now, I mean, he's one of the greatest players in his generation. Probably will have a talk and say, no, maybe gents are now starting to compare him to Terry Henry, but that's a bit too far though. But I think Mo Salah this season it's his flowers. If he doesn't win a Ballon d'Or this season, man, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with football, man.
I understand what a lot of people have been saying, and I would say, I'm not saying he's the GOAT, but I think that his name can be in this conversation. Thierry Henry for many years now being nominated as the only one and only, GOAT of the Premier League. But right now, I think you can add Mo Salah name up to that list. It can be a conversation that we all can sit here and talk. Who is the best? I think it's something that can be debate now. For years, no one can debate about the conversation about the growth of Thierry Henry and Mo Salah. Mo Salah being hitting up numbers the same way as Thierry Henry, and if Liverpool go on and to win this Premier League title, that would be his second Premier League title, probably the same as Thierry Henry. And Thierry Henry never win the Champions League, but he won the Champions League already for Liverpool, and he win a multiple FA Cups and League Cups too. So, trophy wise, he's growing in stature right there. with the likes of Thierry Henry, and the goal scoring form is one that we take into consideration too. He's almost over 200 goals for Liverpool already, so we can have him up there and have a conversation. We can debate now because Thierry Henry right now is the past, and right now Mo Salah is the future because look how the way that Mo Salah been playing right now. I will be sitting there biased if I say that we can challenge he can challenge Thierry Henry for that gold spot. Thierry Henry probably gonna win it because when we were a kid growing up, the likes of Thierry Henry was one of the few players that really make you fall in love with the game. So that's why a lot of people don't want to. But sometimes you have to look at the difference and the impact a player have. That generation and this generation, it was a little bit more easier because Arsenal was having one of the best team in England, and the rest of the teams,
Mm.
from if you check it, like back in those days, right? The Premier League was kind of different because you got the likes of Stokes and Wigan, and all of these teams didn't have the money to get the quality player. So you got the likes of Manchester United, Arsenal, and even the likes of Chelsea come in when early part of Roman Abramovich. They were the team that really, really dominated the Premier League. The rest of teams, once they go there, they can pick up points. But the big teams that really pick up points from each other, the ones that big get the most points, they're the one that go on and to win the league. If the likes of Arsenal beat Manchester United, you know that Arsenal gonna always jump over them because that's the way the Premier League was set up. But this DNA in the Premier League, you got like 20 teams, and any team can beat any team at any time, any moment. So a
Mm.
lot of people don't take all of these things into consideration. A lot of people just look at, oh, Thierry Henry was playing and he was scoring a lot of goals, but look at the teams that he was scoring the goal against, and look at the teams now in the Premier League. It's not easy to go to Everton and get a 3 points. It's not easy to go to a Ipswich. Even Southampton is the only team you can look forward to and say, oh, that's probably a 3 points. But any team can beat any team at this given time for the last at least 15 years in the Premier League. And this is what Mo Salah being up against, in the Premier League. And I think he scored against every single team that come in the Premier League, all from then until now, since he is in the Premier League for the last 10 years, he scores against every opponent he come up against. Not saying he's scoring every game, but all the
Mm.
opponents he find the back of the net against every team that come in the Premier League since he joined the Premier League. So that to show you, it's hard for a lot of people to digest, but it's a conversation that can be had.
I think because you landed it perfectly, like spot on. Because like since you put it in that manner, right? I think yes, he could have a say now because you spoke about football evolution and like as well as like back then, before it was like for Terry Henry, football was like a bit much easier because like the only teams you could like focus on was like big teams like United, Chelsea, Arsenal at that time. They were very big. Also Liverpool. Liverpool, they were coming into that era too. But like when you come at this era of this period of football, then you speak about Mo Salah in that category. And now Mo Salah is placed into a position where he has to show himself every single game. And like you said, spot on. Like some of the teams that right now I actually like consider to be like maybe top five, top six. Talk about Brighton, Nottingham Forest, Ben. Those teams back then they were not like at that level where they actually are right now. Like teams right now, they can buy any star player, any type of player, because teams have the financial needs to do that now. So I think Mo Salah is probably like has to be in the conversation too, especially in the months of grades, maybe in the saying he's one of the great players in the Prem. Yeah, fair enough. I think he is, man. I think he's one of the most complete. He's one of the most complete forwards I ever watched in my life. apart from the gents I've watched, Arna and Thierry Henry, also the guys in the Prem, Aguero, Suarez, all those gents, I feel like Mo Salah has put himself in that category of being one of the best in the Prem, and he's been showing it, man. And I'm giving him his flowers, man. I can't even see anyone ahead of Salah right now. So Salah has to be the best player in the whole world right now.
Yeah, I think he is. Much as we want to talk about Cole Palmer, which we're going to talk about a little bit later from this, but much as we want to talk about the Rodri and Vinny Jr. and the Kylian Mbappe, the numbers that this guy's pulling up, not only in the Premier League but also in the Champions League. When it's not goal, is assists. You know, he's definitely is amongst the best. There's nothing no one can sit here and say that Mo Salah is not doing what he need to do for this Liverpool team. This Liverpool team is scary. This Liverpool team is very, very dangerous. They got some blips in here and there, but when they're on it, they're on it. And for me right now, if they can continue down this path for this December period and continue to open a gap, in this December period against the likes of Arsenal, where the game's gonna come a little bit more easier, where you're only gonna probably have not so many games during the week,
Mm.
and stuff like that. You never can tell if they can escape this December period, just like the likes of Chelsea. If Chelsea can escape this December period, then I can say, yeah, we probably can be in the title race. But for right now, it's too early to call it because the games are going to come so quick and fast for the next
Mm.
week. The game's gonna be like Usain Bolt versus the rest of the world. They're gonna be coming quick and fast. In the 100 meter sprint. So those are some of the consideration that that's why I'm staying humble and I'm just watching it and enjoying the beautiful game, that we all fall in love with and we all love. That's the football game, and just see where it goes. But Liverpool, man, give me your take on Liverpool, because for me, man, very dangerous.
Yeah, right. I mean, Liverpool, aren't they also undefeated in Champions League too? I think they are. I think they're also undefeated. Yo, this team now, what Jurgen Klopp has built and actually gave everything to any slot, man. Like this is one complete team right now. And in the Prem, I can't see any team that's better than Liverpool. But Liverpool are very dangerous, man. I think Liverpool they're in a situation where they are now comfortable to win the league because um for at least 4 or 5 big teams, let's say the six big are actually having a crisis, while Chelsea is actually coming out from their project and everything is working out. So Man City, yeah, that's another story. Wow. Arsenal now they're trying to, they're fumbling in game in out season, players coming in, Arteta losing it. So I just don't see Arsenal being one of the title contenders with Liverpool. So yeah, Liverpool are in a good spot now, man. Like to really win everything. They're in a competition where no one is actually competing with them, and they're flying high, and they're dangerous. So it's one of the teams you need to be feared of now.
Yeah, so far for me, man, they're the favorite to win the title. Liverpool very dangerous, man, very very dangerous. We're gonna switch, from Tottenham and Liverpool. Now we're gonna speak about Arsenal. Can you Arsenal Arsenal? This season everyone be calling them Stoke City. Stoke City was the team in the Premier League that no one want to go to, especially in the winter time. With those long throws and those set plays. They were a very dangerous team with set plays and stuff like those. So now, they've been picking up form. Even though it's Crystal Palace. So I'm not gonna sit here and say they back to form, but they seems like they hit a form yesterday against Crystal Palace. What you take on Arsenal?
Mm. Uh, yeah, Arsenal, man. Arsenal, I think this season Arsenal are actually shaky. I won't lie to you. Because I mean, if you tie to contenders, you can't be, losing to Bournemouth. You can't be, drawing to Everton. Even if you have the tools, you have everything. Your players, like everything is set for you guys to win the title. Like there's no excuses for this year. No excuses. And as I see with Arsenal, like Arsenal, as I see with Arteta as well, I think Arteta's overthinking things. And I think coming off this transfer, he wasn't really backed because I think he was trying to get a striker, but he ended up getting a defender and a midfielder and just buying more players from the defensive side. So I think Arsenal still have a chance, man. They still have a chance. But it's those games, like you said, man, especially in the December and January, if they actually get those games right, they could have a say with Liverpool. But at the moment, I don't think Arsenal is going to be at that because their project, they literally had 6 years to do something with their project. Last season, they fumbled the league where like most of the teams are not actually ready to compete. I mean, they were on first place until Man City caught them. The previous season, they almost beat Pep's system. I mean, like, how many years are you going to wait to like really win a major trophy? So I think it is time for them this season, especially this season, next season. It is time for them to really see what they're capable of, especially in the Champions League. So yeah, I mean, Arsenal now they do have some times where they win games, especially sometimes they go, in a win streak. But there are sometimes, yeah, they when they dip down. So it's one of those things, man. Arsenal need to work on, but I think they are in the conversation of the title race.
My biggest take on an Arsenal, I just can't understand Mikel Arteta. Like, if you're leading, you're already in control of the game. Why you continue to rest, your most valuable player, Saka? This young man been playing so many minutes week in, week out for so many years. And even when Arsenal is up like 3 or 4 goals, why you don't substitute this young man? Why you don't take him out, give him a break, help him to recover? Now it seems like he pick up a hamstring injury because he was holding the back of the hamstring. And my take on this is, how you think this would affect Arsenal if this is a serious injury? If this is an injury that's going to keep him out for a little bit. My
Mm.
take is like, how do you think Arsenal will go without this player? Because he's their talisman. He is the assistant. He is the goal scorer for them. He is almost everything.
Spot on, because I feel like Saka is one of their most important player, crucial player. I mean, like Saka, because I remember the time when Saka started, like there were not too much pressure on him. I think it got to a point now because he started banging in GA and all that stuff. Even took them to the next level. I mean, God, like I think now the Arteta's putting that pressure now to rely on Saka instead of him going into the market and buying a player with his similar profile, especially on the right wing. Like he had almost 3, 4 summers to really buy a player for Saka. And I mean, if Saka goes out, who they're gonna put in the flank to really create, even score goals too? I mean, they can put Gabriel Jesus, but like that form can really go down. It can run down, and similar taking into that consideration when you have your best player in a and is a forward, especially on the flanks, right? You wouldn't want to rely on only one player as a team. And I think Ateta has made it that clear that he made his team to rely on one player instead of relying on a team, because football is a team sport, not an individual sport. So he took it as in like, all right, I'm going to play around, maybe build around Saka and see what's going to happen. And is it working? It worked last season. I won't lie, it worked. It really worked. But this season, man, I just felt like he should have done more transfers. And since Saka now, if he's gone for a period long time, will they even try to compete? We'll have to wait and see, like you said. So,
Yeah, and our final thoughts on Arsenal before we move down to another graveyard, the cemetery, and to go look for Manchester United to really ask them what's going on. How you think Arsenal will finish? You think it's still in a chance to go for it?
nah, not really. I mean, we're above Arsenal, man, and like realistically, Arsenal was supposed to be above us. No, even with further points, probably like 5, 6 points. And if we were above Arsenal by 3 points, that actually has to make us say, guys, like I mean, Arsenal, they can never say. I'm not saying they can never say, but the way it looks like, I don't think they can challenge for the title race. They are in the title race, but going all the way to catch Liverpool, I don't think they have that. I mean, like right now, they're looking at Chelsea and they're like, okay, this guy's a threat. So what's gonna happen next season? So Arsenal right now, man, like it's either do or die this season. If not, mm, it's gonna be a lot of questions next season.
Yeah, bro. I respect that opinion, bro. What you said is spot on. But now we're gonna go visit Manchester United over there in Manchester Cemetery. We're gonna look and see what's really going on for Manchester United. Manchester United, man, what's really going on there? Do you think Amarin is the right man for the job?
Mm. Yo, yeah, Manchester United is in a mess, in a whole mess. I think Ruben Emram can change some things, but man, it's going to take him years, man. Like the way we see it, I think this is like 5 summers, man. This is almost 5 summers, 6 summers to do a rebuild, like a whole rebuild. So is he the man? Yes, I'm most definitely, because I've assessed Emram before during his sporting times, and he's a good manager, man. Like, he's very good. He knows talent. He can pick up talent. Yeah, I think he can change things up. But as well, like in order for things to change, the board needs to change too. So the board needs to allow him to have a say. And we've seen now Manchester United have been in a run because of the board. Even recently, Dan Ashworth left. Dan Ashworth was the sporting director. He quitted almost like how many months in the job? Like 3, 4. So there's a lot going on in that football club. They're in a mess. But I think Ruben have a chance to turn it around for them, but it's gonna take them a very long time.
Yeah, well said. I think that you know, with this player right here, is one of the biggest problem I think in Manchester United. Because right now, the player power was so bad in Manchester United. And the likes of Rashford right now is saying that he need a new challenge. Do you think this guy, is finished, or you think that he just need a new challenge somewhere fresh, somewhere where he doesn't doesn't feel like he's the man, a place where he can hold his head down and go and work harder. Saudi Arabia been linking around, and he's preferred, like he want to go like to Spain or probably Paris, or
Mm,
somewhere in France. So Rashford, man, what's really going on with this young man right here?
I think Rashford is going through an identity crisis. I think that's just about it. It's because some of the things I think. Do you remember that time we got racial abuse during the Euros? Yeah, I think that affected him as well, man. Like that affected him very hard, and that carried on into his game. Then there was one season he came back and he started balling, man. He came back, he balled, then he went back to Rashford. And I think it's just an identity crisis, man. Like football players go through this. And when Rashford is in a moment where like things are in the mess, the club is in a mess, he's in a mess. Some players also are in the mess. So by chance for him, it's a good idea for a big move. I think it is time for him to move. Maybe reset his, have a reset. Maybe go somewhere in Spain, Italy. I don't think he should go to Saudi. I mean, the guy hasn't accomplished a lot, bro. He won Europa and what else? FA Cups and what? And he only went to like the final of the Euro and semi-final World Cup. I mean, he hasn't done a lot. And I mean, like, if you want to go to the next level for your career, I mean, you should go to another top club. So I think he made a good decision from allowing himself to come out and say, listen, I need to, go and have another try a new challenge, go another, see another path. And yeah. And Ruben actually agreed with him, accepted it. Ruben took him off the starting 11. Now he's no more in the team. So I think Rashford will be leaving this January. I don't think he's gonna be leaving this summer. He probably be leaving this Jan, and yeah, hey, Rashford. I think for him to go to another level, should go to another club in Spain, Italy, not Saudi. Saudi, he's just going to go there for money, man. And yeah, Rashford, I know he's sitting on 300K, so yeah, I think he will go to Saudi. But my advice probably he should go to somewhere where he can probably compete for Champions League or something, win a major trophy. And yeah, maybe he'll, get a reset. I think he's one of the exciting footballers to watch, man. Rashford is very good, man. And I think people write him off because of the things he has done and his the controversial that he has in his life. But at the end of the day, man, this guy is one of the footballers that we're excited to watch. And yeah, I feel bad for him, but he should need a reset and a new challenge.
Yeah, I think sometimes, man, sometimes in life, you have to make some changes for you to advance. I think that when you be in certain place for too long, especially jobs, after a while you get so comfortable. Sometimes you just need that little shake up, to advance, or to go find the love again. Sometimes you can fall out of love with what you do. You
Mm.
just need a new environment for you to move on. So I think probably that's what, as you said, crisis. I think that is just the fight that he got with himself. I don't think it's it would be the whole entire Manchester is just needs something different. Nottingham Forest, because we want to go to the Chelsea, because we want to close this off at the hour mark, or probably even less. So I don't want to hold you too long, because I know it's late over there in Africa. So we want to go to Nottingham Forest. What do you take on Nottingham Forest? I know they're not really in the top eight team at this moment, but I relegated Tottenham out of the top eight. So I'm probably gonna have to promote. I promote Brighton, so I'm wondering if I'm gonna have to promote Nottingham Forest. But Newcastle have seems like they hit back a form. I don't know if it's a one-off or so. I'm just gonna wait and see for the next couple games to see about the Newcastle and Nottingham Forest. But I think that it's right for one of them to get promoted. And Nottingham Forest is a team. You think that they're just having a Leicester moment, where they're
Mm.
probably gonna finish in the top four, or there and about. You think they're gonna fall away the wayside?
Um, I, to come and think of it, I mean, I think Nottingham Forest are flying now. I mean, I don't rate Santos that much, the manager, but I think Nottingham Forest right now, I can't write them off to be top four. I think they will make top four, probably maybe Conference League or maybe Europa. You could ever say in the European competition this season, but they have been flying. I won't lie to you, they've been extremely good, man. Sometimes I watch the games, and one thing I've noticed is that they really come with the approach of like attacking now. Because back then they used to do this low block thing. Now they are pressing, attacking. And Santos have really changed the style of play now, and they're really playing good. So then top fly mode now right now, and I'm sure they'll be competing real soon. But I don't think they're deep. I don't think the recent results will actually affect them in the long run. I think that's gonna happen next season when we'll see that if they're gonna handle also the European competitions plus Premier League games because they only just have Premier League games so far in cup competitions. That's it. So I think next season is gonna affect them hard. But this season, man, they've been flying. So I can't really write them off.
Yeah, fair. That's fair. That's fair challenge for me. Now we're gonna move over to Manchester, man. Manchester, Manchester again. One more Manchester, and this time is Manchester City versus Aston Villa. It's another defeat for Pep Guardiola. It's another week that Pep Guardiola still haven't find, the solution to his problem. What your take on all of this that's going on for Manchester City, man? What you take on it? Because I think that I've been saying this since last season. I think Manchester City before the season started, my exact word was I think that for the last 3 seasons, you can see they were struggling to cross the line. So I think this season will be the season that someone take them down. We always saying we think Arsenal was gonna do it, but now we've come to realize that Liverpool was the team that was just waiting for this moment. So, what you take on Manchester City, and how do you think Pep Guardiola fix it?
Yeah. The blood is still going to spill. The bleeding won't stop. The bleeding won't stop. Everton added more salt in the wounds. The building won't stop. I'm sorry. Um, they are in the crisis, heavy crisis. But I won't write them off because they're Manchester City and they have finance to back the players. They have finance to get proper players, especially the most talented players in the world. So I mean, they gave Pep Guardiola another season. I think they can turn it around. I think they can turn it around. But man, Man City has fallen off to the point that they had to rely on one player, and I think Pep Guardiola saw this as a weakness. And I think Pep underestimated Chelsea and Liverpool this season because I think he didn't went to the market and spend a little bit more rather than letting Alvarez go with a lot of money, and he has money on that, on the bank, and he doesn't want to like spill it on other players as well. I mean, he has almost like 24, 23 players in the squad, man. That's a small squad, especially coming if you play in a lot of games. This gents they have what you call this Club World Cup, they have Champions League, they have League, they even have they got kicked out for the Carabao Cup, and they still have FA Cup final. Those are a lot of games for like how many players? 18, 19 players. So most of the players now are really tired, and Pep is just adding more salt into the wound, and Pep is just making it worse. And I think right now the January transfer is going to save them a little bit because I'm sure he's planning to buy players at that time. But we have to wait and see what's happening, man. Man City, man, they're in the trenches, man. They're in the crisis. They still have that 140, is it 130 now charges still. They're still going to court for it. Still ran for probably a year or two or so to see if they really get if they are guilty or not. If they are found guilty, that's like going to League One now. So will Pep handle the pressure? I want to see this because in my life I saw Pep at Barcelona didn't do anything. I saw Pep at Bayern Munich. He was at the similar situation as to what City was going through right now. He didn't do anything, ran to Man City, and look now. He drove Man City into the mud. And will he stay to bring City back again? We have to see. You know, I won't discredit Pep Guardiola for what he has done. I think this guy is one of the greatest managers in the world, and he has proved it with his trophies. So, yeah, I think he has a chance to turn it around for City. But yeah, they are horrible, man.
I think earlier on he said he was tired, he was burned out. And I think that he know that this Man City team need a rebuild. and they're probably saying that he's the right man to do this rebuild. So maybe that's why he stick around. I think that Pep Guardiola already know that the end was coming for this team, because you cannot keep on motivating, and try to get the best out of these players week in week out. After win so many times, it's hard to continue to motivate these players to continue to push. So after a while it's gonna caught up with you. So I think it just caught up with them at this moment. I think that he is a good manager, but he never ever do a rebuild like what he have to do with Man City, because he always left before the rebuild. So because if you check the Barcelona, he left before he do the rebuild at Barcelona, but now he's at he went to Bayern Munich, and he done the same thing too. He left before Bayern Munich have to get that rebuild. Now he's at City, and he did want to leave, but because of they probably can't find a replacement, so probably that's why he's still there. Welcome to the show, Ty. How you doing, bro?
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Yeah, now I can hear you, bro.
Right, I didn't hear what you said.
No, we were talking about Man City and Pep Guardiola. What Pep Guardiola can do to really come back and get back this Man City team on track, or we just think that it's just probably just a hit for them for the season.
I think it's their 2015-16 season. That's what I think. Where things just implode and implode. Because how do you lose 2-1 to Aston Villa? It's that's strange to me. And if Chelsea had won, they would have been 10 points clear of them. We were 8 points clear of them, and it could be worse because they've had one win in 12 matches, I think, or some amount of match or 10 matches. One of the two. I just think it's that time for them where every big team, they tend to have their off season where they finish either out of the top four, and I feel based on their current form they're gonna finish out of the top four. I mean they could get some results, yes, but I don't think they're gonna get top four. That's my very very bold statement because I think that I don't think signing players in January is enough. There's the problems of the charges, and that is definitely playing with their minds mentally, psychologically, is impacting them. I don't think they're gonna be able to get past that at least this season.
Yeah, I understand what you said, but I'm gonna throw this out to you guys. If you look at the charges, right? If you were an agent for any players that they're gonna approach in this January window, would you want to send your client there, even though their name is Man City? Would you want to send your players to Man City at this time? Because of all the charges, and no one know what's gonna happen. Because in England they've been saying about the relegation. The relegation is a big it, for Manchester City, because that's all everyone talk about is the relegation of Manchester City, that they can get relegated out of the league. So would you send your client over to Manchester City at this time? The floor is open. Anyone can go.
Ty, go first, bro. Go first. I'm
Boy, that's
allowing
a sticky one. I need to think about it.
it. Nah, I don't think I'll send any players to City right now, man. Maybe in the summer, but that's gonna be a huge risk. Cause if let's say I was an agent for Foreign Verts or Musiala, like I would actually consider Man City to give me a better option, rather like giving me a better contract. Because what if my player goes there and they start things happen, then they end up into League One, and most of the players are gonna leave, like especially the top players. Like none of the players will actually wait 3 years to come to the top flights of football unless they are very loyal. and they'll stay at the club and maybe commit to the club and do that. But I just don't see it in that way. As Ty said, um, even though they bring in any players from the in the January transfer, there's no turning it around. There's nothing's going to happen. The only way to fix this, the huge rebuild, like you said, Calvin, like it has to be a big, huge rebuild. It's gonna take them time. And will Pep Guardiola stay for it? We'll have to wait and see.
It goes back to what we said though, Garvan, earlier. Not earlier, in the past on other streams where we said that the reason why he probably extended was because of the whole situation with what happened with the charges and all of that. But yeah, is he gonna stay? That's the thing. If I was an agent though, I mean, Maya, he used the financial part of it as in terms of benefits you get as the agent, because obviously you'd have to persuade the player, because no player is gonna realistically, if they're thinking about it, if they have proper guidance, want to go to a club where they have so many charges and there's talk that it could be even more than what we're hearing. So I mean, I don't think any player would want to go there, because they think about the fact of, if that scenario happens, and as Meyer said, they players are gonna leave. Players that will make the club attractive even more may end up leaving, because not only are the are this is the squad full with young players, but they also have players who are in their 30s who could be looking to either leave to go somewhere else, or go closer to retirement. They have players who are around 37, 36, 38. Those players could end up leaving. So I don't think anybody's gonna want to come in with that risk. They may get other people in, because obviously they have a big status as a big club. So they may get a few, but I don't think anybody that can actually impact their season will really come in if things go in that direction.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. Because the end of the day is very risky. Because if I was an agent, I would be sitting there right now, and I will, have this conversation with them. Can you give me any guarantee that you guys ain't gonna get relegated if I bring my client there? Or can you give me any guarantee that if I let my players come there, can you give me the guarantee that yes, we can get them out, if something like that happen? It's gonna be a very sticky situation for them, because there's a lot you can ask as an agent, because you want to make sure that if you're looking out the best for your client, you're going to want to make sure if they come to the test that they get relegated, that you definitely can you know can get your players out there to another team, if that happen, and then who's gonna want to be the loser? Does City want to be the loser that they pay so much for a player, and because they get relegated, they're gonna have to ship them out cheaper than how they get them? So that probably gonna put them further down into financial difficulty. So it's gonna be a very sticky one. We just have to wait until the transfer market open to see how City go in there and see who they're bringing, and then we can look at it and look and probably say that probably these charges, they're not really worried about it in that case. But it's one that we definitely have to look on, and something that we definitely have to take into consideration. But these players and their agent, gonna have a lot on their plate to consider about when it come on to Manchester City and the transfer window. We're moving on to Chelsea, the final topic of the day. Our favorite and beloved Chelsea. Chelsea today. Last night we were having a party at the house, and you know, my brother was telling me that if I think you're gonna be treated today, because he's a big Chelsea fan too, and I was saying I don't think so, because that where we're going, I'm not gonna talk and beat up my stomach and said, yes, we're gonna go there and annihilate and dominate them. Because I know that Everton right now, if you look in the league, They have the best defensive record in the league, or one of the best, or the top four in the whole entire Europe. You know,
Have they only lost 2 matches?
Everton.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They have one of the best defensive record. Like, they don't concede goal. Their defense line is very mean. So my take on it, I was watching you and I was listening to you, Ty. I think it was this morning before the game when you were saying that you're very concerned about the game. I don't know whose channel you were on, but because you were on the channel, so I will stick by there to watch it.
It was Blue Clouds Media. Knees channel, Blue Clouds Media, yeah.
Oh yeah, so I wasn't really looking and see what the channel is, because once I saw any of you guys on a channel, I always try to stop and listen to it, even if I'm not watching it. I put it up on my Bluetooth speaker, or I turn the phone up where I can listen it while I'm doing what I'm doing. And it was very, you were spot on when you were concerned, because I was very concerned with our midfield because of the Enzo in there and the physicality. If it was like a Romeo Lavia was inside of that midfield, I would be very much comfortable. And I think that Cucurella cost us 3 points today too, 2 points, because we leave with one, because this was a game for the likes of a Cucurella and not Disasi, because Disasi don't give you much of going forward, or to overload the opponent, when we have the ball. So I think that's that one other thing that playing Everton, and in my opinion, I know you guys' opinion probably different, but I think that with Gusto on the right and Cucurella on the left, I think we would have opened up, the defensive of Everton a little bit better. I think that Sancho would have been better with his one-on-one duel, because he would have Cucurella popping up in many different places. So it would have keep the wing back thinking, and I think that's something that kind of let us down today. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, because I mentioned this even on that show too. I mean, it was kind of overshadowed because nobody really listened to what I was saying, but everything that I said is exactly what happened, because I said I was concerned about the field. I think Maya was also
Yeah,
concerned.
you even said it 2 days before, but the whole week you were actually saying that
Exactly.
Everton
I kept
game.
saying
Yeah.
it. I kept saying it because I just had a bad feeling, and I kept saying, Kukurea not playing, and then we literally saw Sancho was struggling. You could see that he developed chemistry with Kukurea. And the fact that he didn't have any fullback on the left side to overlap to help him, you could see that that was a problem for him, because he kept losing the ball. Nobody was there to overlap, so he could drop deep past the ball, or do that, because in the game against Spurs, Kukurea was very vital in the goal that Sancho scored, and all of that. So by losing him, it literally affected us. And even people like Bobby, he said that he was worried about the fact that Kukurea would be missing this game, and people were like, "Oh, Renato Vega would do well." Renato Vega didn't even play. At least I don't think he did. I don't remember him coming on. So even then, that wasn't even a possibility. And I kept saying it, the midfield is the biggest issue. And we've had our private conversations, Garvan. I'm not going to disclose it, but the midfield, you can literally see that if you want to get the best out of players like Enzo, you need to have that defensive responsibility taken away from him, because he barely was doing the offensive work. He came in in the latter part. I don't know if you guys realize this, but he started to do that left back sort of full back role where he was inverting and trying to cross the ball a few times and all of that, because Maresca realized that Sancho needed that help. So definitely that midfield was my biggest concern prior to the match. When I saw the lineup, I was like, oh, I don't have a good feeling about this match. And so said, so done. I mean, we didn't lose, but we could have done way more, because Everton made mistakes. There was gaps that if we had people running in more, we could have hurt them before they got back into shape. We built up very slow, and that was one of the biggest issues with what I saw. So definitely, I was I was, for the entire week, I was concerned. I was not confident of going into this match at all.
Yeah, spot on, bro. Like, as you said it, G, like, I actually agree with Ty, because I was I was actually agreeing with Ty during the week. Like, Everton, bro, I'm not gonna have so much chest. No, people were having chest. They were having chest saying, we're going to go there to Goodison Park. We'll beat them 3-1, 4-1. I mean, man, like against a physical team, Everton, man, come on. Those gents, especially Sean Dykes, I need to give him credit because this guy he had a game plan for it. I think he didn't go for a win. He just wanted a draw. And he did it spot on. Literally, he put two players on Cole Palmer, left Jackson isolated, put Neto and Sancho in the wide areas isolated. Those two were isolated. So like it was really hard to break the defensive line. And I said this, and I said it in the halftime. I think I was in this stream. I was like, yo, this is the time to put Madueke Felix in because Madueke Felix, those gens are easily enough. They can break low blocks easily because they're risk takers. Felix is a risk taker. He can go into the box, shoot, pass, dribble, and we needed that. And I think we needed a player like that, especially even Ty said it for Enzo because Enzo, right? The reason why Enzo was now dropping back into that DM role, going back to that left hand side, because Gusto wasn't even doing his job inverting. Gusto was just like going to the flanks, bro, trying to do his things. Yes, he was going into the middle, inverting, but he never inverted like the way we wanted as Cucurella. That's why we missed Cucurella for this game. So, like, I think this whole game, like, Maresca has to take. Yeah, man, he got it all wrong, man. He got it all wrong. And despite, like, I mean, bro, like, you could have made some specific changes, maybe a tactical change, yeah, man. Even Ty said it, man. Why don't you go back to a back four? Because the back three was working, bro. The two DMs. Why don't you go back to the back four this today, just for today? Go back to the back four, put a DM there, put two eights, then use the flanks. And he didn't do that. And I think because we were glued to like what was happening with this recent results, I think people were so confident enough. Okay, we'll go there and snatch a win, and maybe have this say of us being in the title race and all that stuff.
Mm.
And bro, like I literally knew that. Okay, especially in the second half, when they started, because I think Everton had more chances than us compared to the first half. When they started going hard on the second half, I just knew that yeah, this is a draw. It's either a draw or 1-0. And I'm grateful we got a draw because Goodison Park, man, when was the last time we had a decent result, guys? Then 6-2, 4-0. I remember that time, the 4-0 victory when Herrera was trying to mark Hazard. That was the
Mm.
only that was the only time, only time we had a proper performance in Goodison Park. And it shows, bro. That has to show you, like, hey, bro, that is one of the toughest fields we ever actually faced in the Prem. It's
Well,
Goodison
thank God we
Park.
don't have to go back there. Thank God we don't have to go back there.
Goodison Park. Ty even mentioned it. West Ham. The West Ham away was also one of our struggles. Even Wolverhampton was also one of those teams that we were struggling, and we're still struggling. Thank God, like this was our last game at Goodison, because I was not gonna have it next season too. But man, I think people actually woke up to the fact that during at this time low blocks it's gonna be difficult if Maresca keeps using this back three and the two during low blocks. He can use it with highline. Highline teams, it did it perfectly with Tottenham, bro. Did it with actually with Liverpool. When it comes to low block, you have to play certain players where they can break the line, and he didn't do that. He chose to bench some players that know how to break that line. So whose fault is it today? It's Maresca's fault, not the players. So yeah, I'm grateful for this draw, man. So yeah.
I'm sorry, Maya. I just saw this came in and I got to laugh.
It's that time of the year. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big up, my bro Jersey. Big up, man. Big up, and thank you for the donation, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, as I told you, man, bro, when you're ready to make an appearance, you can. I was, as I told you before, welcome back to the platform, but make sure you stick to the original name because that name was
Yeah.
the banging.
Yeah, but sir, if I may add something to what Maya just said, this is the thing though. Whenever I go on panels, I always people always say I'm negative, but I mean I think it's more with realism, because every result that, like, because even the Spurs match, even the Brentford match, even though I didn't watch it live, and when I looked at the parts that I did see, I kept saying that, this I'm very much concerned, because we were able to cross, we were able to do crosses, but we're not going to have people like Kukurea. Lavia still not going to be available. We're going to have those challenges, and I kept saying that, okay, fine, yeah, we won these matches, but you have to look at those fine margins, and that's why seasons go bad for us, because the cracks are there, and we ignore it to say, oh well, yeah, we still won the match. No, yeah, you won the match. That's important, but you need to look at what you can do to ensure that these mistakes don't continuously happen. And I knew that was going to happen with Sancho, because you could see the chemistry between him and Kukurea. And you could literally see that if you want to get the best out of Fernandez. I said this for months. Literally, I've been spot on about a lot of things. Garvan was spot on about many things, but I've been spot on about this. Rosie saying I'm negative, but still though, seriously, I said it. I was wrong in terms of what we would do to get the best out of Enzo. I kept asking. Mario was on that stream as well. I kept saying, can we do?
Mm.
Will we sacrifice an attacker so that we can actually play a three-man midfield? Because that's the only way I can see Enzo Fernandez being his best self. And without it, you're gonna see him struggle, and that's what happened. Because people talk about, oh, he did this for Argentina. Argentina use what type of midfield? You need to take that into consideration. He if he was the one that did defensive work, would he have scored a goal that people are still in love with? No, because he would not
No.
have been in that space. So people need to think about it. Football is not complicated to understand. It's just about you looking at it. Eye test is very important. People like to look at stats and say, oh, stats says this and whatever. Yeah, you can use that to accompany what you see, but the stats never tell the full story. And that is one thing that I've always said to people. So when I kept saying that, oh, you need to be careful because this may actually come back to bite you. Literally, it has happened. We saw it in this match, and fair play to Everton. I did my stream as well, people, and the panelists that I had on, they said I was negative, which I say, you know what? I know that I was negative. I was actually spot on, because for the entire week I kept saying, I'm very concerned about this. And then looking at the form of Everton, not losing any match. The only reason why they're so low is because they've gotten draws and they've not won matches. That's the only thing that has kept them so low. So that is the biggest thing. But as we both said, I'm happy that this was the final match at Goodison Park, because man, this voodoo that's there. I don't know what's going on, but it's concerning, very much concerning.
Yeah, Ty, let me add on something what you said about with Enzo. A lot of people don't they watch the football game, but they don't really look deep into it. When he played for Argentina,
Mm.
look who is the defensive midfielder when they're out of position of the ball. Look who go join him to help recover the ball. It's De Paulo, the guy at Atletico Madrid. He is the
Mm.
workhorse in that midfield
Yep.
for Argentina. It's not Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez is the one that keep the ball and move it around with McAllister from Liverpool. So there are the ones that really keep the ball and move it around and keep the tempo for Argentina. But the one that did all the dirty work for them is that guy at Atletico Madrid, De Paula.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Coming back to Ty's point, because he's been saying this about the Lavia situation with Enzo sacrificing an attacker. Well, Maresca did that. He sacrificed the fullback. He put Caicedo right back, right, that time, and he used three. So now, if he's going to do that, right, then can't he do that for an attacker? Can't he do that for Neto or Madweke, right? Then play Palm on the right, put Felix as a 10, and put Sancho there at the left side. Use Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo, because like Ty and others have been speaking about Enzo's and in game. Like it's he's actually his best game is like the offensive side. The defensive side, he's actually weak at it. So like everybody, we've been saying this, Ty's been saying this all along, and Maresca actually picked it up and he did that inverting thing, tweaking the right back, putting Caicedo so he can invert into a DM. I mean, he did it spot on, man. Fair enough against Villa. He did it great. But when it comes to tactical decisions, I think Maresca kind of saw like Enzo now, he can't be used as a DM. And he tweaked this position to an 8, an advanced 8. And people are kind of like seeing this now, like, oh, okay, maybe Enzo now can actually play DM. And it only took them maybe how long? 2 seasons to really see that Enzo can't play DM. Imagine. So, bruh, I don't know. I don't know. But fair enough, man. Like, all I want is the best for the players. They're actually playing well. And yeah, man. I just came up from someone criticizing Cole Palmer heavily today, man. Shame. I feel so bad for him, bro.
Well, that's the conversation I'm gonna have right now. It's not a criticism, but I think that since those two challenge on Cole Palmer, I've been watching him cleanly since those two channel challenge, the one against Ndidi and that defender from Manchester United. I can't remember his name right now. What is his name? The
Is it
Argentine
Martinez?
defender
Martinez.
Martinez. Since those two challenge on Cole Palmer, if you notice, Cole Palmer have a little limp, like the
Yeah.
same limp like Saka. We've been messing around about Saka limping out of every game. I didn't see limp too much today, but the conversation is, should we consider, you know, taking Cole Palmer off the bench for some of these games because teams are setting it up to mark or to double or triple team Cole Palmer. Should we consider right now giving the likes of Joe Felix a surprising start in some of these games because no one, and I think that Nicholas Jackson, should we consider? I'm putting it both together, to make it cut the conversation a little bit, you know, um, better. But should we consider taking out Cole Palmer and Jackson and give Nkuku and Felix a start in some of these games in the Premier League now?
Mm,
Now go, bro. Go, bro. Go all the way, bro.
okay. All right. Well, yeah. I think we should. I think we have to. I kept seeing this because I was on a watch long, and I said that I think. Oh my goodness! I'm gonna ignore the chat. Um, I've lost my chain of thoughts. Right. So I think in terms of this match, the I think for this match. Oh my god! When you do that, Garvan, don't have lost my. anyways,
Hey.
anyways, serious time. Um, right. I think for this match, I didn't think this match suited Jackson in in particular because he struggles against low blocks. I mean, yeah, he did something against some low blocks, but overall he struggles against low blocks that actually have good defenders. And I mean, a lot of people would say that about Everton based on where they are in the table, but they've done well defensively. I kept seeing how they kept marking him out of the game. Palmer was barely in the match. Looking at the amount of impact that he had in that match, it shows. And as you mentioned, Garvan, I don't remember who said it, but somebody said that since he's had those kicks and all of that, he's been limping and all of that. But for the sake of him, because we saw what happened to Saka. Saka kept limping and then boom, he got an injury. For the
Mm.
for the sake of saving the player from getting potentially injured, you need to do that. I mean, it's not dropping him because he's not good enough. It's dropping him because you need to be able to drop him. He's had bad games. People don't want to say, but he's had bad games. And the only thing that has saved his rating or performance is the fact that he scores goals or does he get assists here and there, which is normal. People do have off games, and that's normal. But Maresca needs to understand that if you want to preserve this player from getting injured or even becoming somewhat of a hazard, you need to ensure that you protect the player, because in this day and age, football, it takes little to nothing for players to get injured, and their career can be hampered or hindered or even lessened. So I think definitely we should do that, because Nkunku, despite not being the one that drops deep to help with the defensive action, he is physical. Jackson isn't physical. He's very raw. When I say he's raw, people say that I'm being harsh, but he is raw. Jackson is still very raw. He can do things wide and all of that, and he can drop deep. But Nkunku is a physical specimen. You need somewhere that can match up with defenders who will actually be physical with you. And Jackson won't give you that. He's gonna be dispossessed. He's gonna have to pass the ball backwards. With Nkunku, we saw it. He came on, he got the goal for us against Bournemouth, and he won. That is something that you need to consider. You need to look at that. So definitely, we need to sacrifice Palmer in some matches, because we're not Palmer FC. And if it works, people can finally say that we're not Palmer FC, or we don't need Palmer to have a good game in order for us to do well. So we need to ensure that that's the case, and we protect him and give Jackson that competition, because constantly playing him in every game is not helping him to realize that he can be benched, because every player can be benched.
Same with Palmer, bro. I think it's time for Maresca to rotate Palmer, because, like you said, this player has been targeted, bro. Like, bro, I don't know if you guys saw his challenge against Taoski challenged him, bro, and bro, this guy came with studs, bro, on his ankle, bro. Palmer's been targeted, guys, and Taoski never got a yellow card for that, and that's a yellow card tackle, bro. This guy, I think Palmer, Sancho, I'm not sure about Jackson. These gens are really targeted. And when you playing teams like Everton and especially like teams that have physicality and chance just kick chance that are just kicking chance around. No, hey man, like it can happen to be that Palmer gets one knock, it becomes a crucial one. And this is the time now you have to really rotate Palmer. Yes, do we want to do that? Maybe that's not a good idea for me. But I mean, like, just for him to save like our season, bro, I think we do really need to start rotating this chance, especially Palmer. So I agree with Ty saying that, I mean, give Nkunku some games. Yeah, give him some little bit of minutes, 1 or 2 Premier League games, and yeah, bro, maybe we'll see a different side. I think we can create more without Cole Palmer. We have done it before since in our Conference League games. Yes, right. I mean, it's Conference League, it's not on that level, but I think we are more capable enough to do something without Cole Palmer. And yeah, I think Maresca should really sit down and assess what's going on in the league, because Cole Palmer, he's really targeted. Same with Saka. Saka has actually been targeted since, and you see what happened. You even spoke about it earlier, Garvan. See what happened now with Saka. So yeah, man. Hey, if FA really gets away with this and letting players get away with it, like, really need to start protecting our players, because at the end of the day, it's gonna affect us in the long run.
Whoa, $19 super chat. Thank you, appreciate it.
Wow,
Miss
that's a lot.
Rosie, yeah, Miss Rosie asked a question earlier before I go back to the football, because we definitely want to talk a little bit about soccer. Um, my Christmas dinner. I don't know if Ty want to share his and Marin, but my Christmas dinner right now is some escovitch fish, some curry chicken, some rice and beans, and some what else? What else is on the menu? So I think some curry goat and some oxtail. I think that's where I'm heading to right now for my Christmas dinner.
Two of those what you just mentioned is actually mine as well. So I think it's I don't know if it's a Jamaican thing, but it actually
It's a
is.
Jamaican thing, yeah.
It's a Jamaican thing.
Eh, and that's good. That's good. Shows that you guys are real connected traditionally, bro. It's good, bro. It's good. The culture's still there. The culture's still there. But me, I'm just having 7 colors, cold drink. That's it, guys. That's it. 7 colors is like um rice, beef, stew, even meat, um, coleslaw, all those nice things. But we put them in one plate and we call it 7 colors. So yeah, even beetroot and all that stuff. So that's like my meal for Christmas.
Oh,
And fruitcake. You guys forgot about fruitcake, man.
oh, fruitcake. I thought my bad, man. My bad. Guess what? We got a fruit cake, right? And in one day, she ate it all off, man. By when I come from work and I go to take me a little bite, the fruit cake is gone. I didn't taste it at all. So fruit
Sheesh.
cake, man, fruit cake, bro. I don't know. Fruit cake can't stay in the house. Yeah, but it's a Christmas season, man, and it's nice, to really, be here with friends and family, and to sit here and talk football, because Christmas is just once a year, and we celebrate it once a year, and I think this is something that's supposed to celebrate every single day, because for me, every day is Christmas. It's just the good that you put out in the universe. For me, that's Christmas. Christmas is to spend time with loved ones and family member, and to show people that's always been there for you that you really appreciate them. I think that's what Christmas is, and I think that's what every day should be. So I think every day is Christmas. In my opinion, I I'm gonna let you guys tell me what you think about Christmas.
Nah, man. Hey, the only thing I think about Christmas was like I thought I would get like presents from Santa Claus or something when I was young. Like he would come to my house and all that stuff, just put presents and all that stuff until I woke up and like, that doesn't really happen. But I think Christmas for me is just family, friends, having a good time. Yeah, just sharing your values and all that stuff, man. I think it's more important is just being with the family and being together and sharing good moments. So I think that's Christmas for me.
I think I was a Grinch, to be quite honest, because one year I told my kids that Santa Claus isn't real. I told them I was the Santa Claus because I'm the one that get them all the present. I didn't want my kids to believe in Santa Claus because growing up, as you said, Myra, like that was the thing. Like you used to hear about Santa Claus is coming, and all of those little stuff, and you believe it. And then when I grew up, I realized that I should appreciate my mom and dad because they were the Santa Claus. They're the one that tried everything for me to get my present. So why would I want to tell my kids about Santa Claus when I'm the real Santa Claus? Because I'm the one that gave them all the present. No, Santa Claus ain't coming through no thing through the roof and leaving the present under the tree. So it seems like I was the bad guy. I was the Grinch because I was spoiling it for them. But I think when they grow up, they will understand.
I used to say that Santa Claus is the money and the parents rather than actually this fat man that, because the physics still makes no sense that he comes through a chimney and he comes and you leave milk and cookie for him and I dissected that very early because I kept saying that makes no sense. So I said no, that's impossible. Well, yes, yes, that Christmas should be about everybody coming together and with love being there and positive energy. And as you said, every day should be and is Christmas because it's supposed to be that togetherness and, and love all together. So yeah, I don't think you should limit it to one day in the year. It should be every day or every day that it is possible.
Yeah, so now we're gonna jump back into the football tie. because you weren't here when me and Myra was talking about Saka. So let us talk
Yeah.
about him because I don't know who to be blamed for his injury, to be quite honest, because he's a player that I really like, even though Arsenal is my rival. Honestly, it hurt me when I saw him go down the way how he go down. I didn't like it because I think that Arsenal did already have the game under control. You're already up what 3 goals to nil or 3-1 or somewhere in that bracket or 4 goals up. And I think that when we go down, I was saying that I think that Arteta, and he did this thing to this young man every single game. Doesn't matter how many goals Arsenal is up, he never tried to take him off the pitch to protect him, and that's where I saw Cole Palmer is going down too. So that's why I'm coming, with this right now. I think that they need to protect him a little bit more because hamstring. Once you start to get hamstring injury is a thing that's hard to leave you. And I want to get your take on it. What do you think about how they treat him there at Arsenal?
Yeah, it's just like I mentioned. It's I don't want to. I was gonna make up a word or go and say Chelseaized it, but I'm not gonna say that. I don't want to make it be Chelsea related, but it's similar to players like Eden Hazard or any player that has proven to be very important or crucial for them. They tend to have this reliance, and it happens. It happened at Chelsea, for example, and it's happening at Arsenal as well. Where when one player proves to be so crucial for you, it's a case where you don't know when to drop them or okay, the game has been put to bed because in that match in particular, they were leading what 4 in the first half or very early on. So in a case like that, you say, okay, fine, we have this match won because the defense was horrible from Crystal Palace. You don't need to be playing the player, and you should. This is something where your fitness coach is supposed to be telling you that, or even your assistants, whoever it is, telling you that this player is limping because it's seen. And as I said before, this is the problem. A lot of the time, people don't look at the little cracks that's right there. There's Before anything bad happens, there's things that will indicate that things will go wrong. And people ignore them. They always say that, oh, it's nothing, or oh, it will get better. That is not the approach you should have. You should actually look at the fact that, okay, this is something that is happening every game or almost every other game. So you should actually be careful. And that's the thing. Because of how good he is, and a lot of people say, I can't remember the exact phrase, but when you're very good, it can become one of the worst things for you because that is when you're going to be dependent on even more because you've shown that you have the capabilities to bring your team to where they want to be or to help the team in whatever way you can. So that is his biggest enemy. I think that's one of the biggest disadvantages he has because of how good he is. Because I'm in the same boat as you, Garvan. As much as I don't like Arsenal, Saka is a player that I like because he has the quality, the physique, everything that he can do, it's commendable. So you have to give that to him. But man, it's unfortunate, and it was very unfortunate because I ended up seeing the clip and everything of when all of that happened. And I was saying, why would you keep him on when you're guaranteed to win this match? There's no way Crystal Palace is going to come back and get a result. So you could have rotated, and they do have players that they could have bring on, but because of the fact that they cannot afford to sacrifice Saka, I don't know why they have to keep Havertz on. Well, yeah, or big up somebody so that they can bring on Jesus or whoever the case may be. Why not sacrifice Saka in a match like that? I don't know. It's unfortunate. I hope it doesn't hamper his career or even his season because man, those injuries can make or break a a player. So hopefully it doesn't. We've seen many players who've had hamstring issues either have that recurring issue, chronic issue, and they never come back the same. So I hope that's not the case. But man, it was a foolish decision by Arteta, and I hope it doesn't come to Cole Palmer because he's very close. You see him limping already. You see the amounts of kicks and hits and everything that he gets. let's hope it doesn't happen. But yeah, that was foolish from Arteta for sure.
All right, the final question of the round. You know, no other than our brother. You know, Jersey. Um, you want me to read it for you, or you can see it properly? I know you can. You can see it properly, and then Mary can
Yeah,
answer after.
I can, and I know why he's asking this question, but I'm not going to expose him. I'm not going to expose him, but I know why he's asking. I know why he's asking it. I know why he's asking it. But, yeah. Ooh. It's a sticky question. I've had this debate before. And it's I this is where I'm going to say something that many people might disagree with. I believe that they're in a similar situation, but it's also different with Slot. Slot inherited, and I'm going to say something that many people know. Slot inherited a team that is well rehearsed, a team that has been with most of those players, or half, if not most, have been together for a long period, at least more than 4 seasons together. So when you bring in a manager, if you look at the way that they play, if you look at the way that they defend, you can say that okay, Slot has done that, because we all know Klopp's approach was high line, attack, 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 and hit on the counter because they have the players to do it. Slot has made them more have made them more reserved. They know to remain compact. Their defense has been questionable, especially in the match against Tottenham, because they conceded goals that they probably shouldn't have, or you wouldn't expect them to based on how they started off the season. But I think, and that's not to downplay what Slot has done, but he's been fortunate to have inherited a squad that is so well rehearsed that they've been together, they've won things together, they have that hunger, they have the mentality. So what all he needs to do is ensure that that he uses the same formation, because and that's one of the reasons why they got him. So that has to be a good recruitment from Liverpool. I can't take that away from them. But the approach is exactly what Klopp used to do. So it's not like Maresca. Slot has come in and changed the formation. It's literally the exact same thing. It's like for like. But what he's done is made them better defensively. Most of the time, he's ensured that they know when to attack, when to defend. Liverpool have had that issue for seasons galore. They will win matches, but they win them ugly. They'll concede 2 goals and win by 3 goals. That's what they've done. But and I'm trying not to be biased, but Maresco has had a difficult situation in one way. Yes, he's inherited a squad that, although many people might disagree, or ex-manager Pochettino, he would have done things. He would have helped to make the transition easier by bringing certain players in a different way as to how he would have done prior to that in that season. So Maresco has had it harder to do, and he's exceeded expectation, because I'm sure many people expected Liverpool to be up there. Probably didn't say they're going to win it. People said Arsenal. I said Arsenal was going to win the league. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to raise my hand and say I thought Arsenal was going to win the league. Anything is possible still. We're having half the season here. We're almost there. Things can change. But in terms of what Maresca has had to do, this is a very young, inexperienced squad. We saw how inexperienced would have cost us in many matches. And I think that Maresca has done a lot. He's also benefited from the blueprints and the philosophies that Pochettino would have left. Because whether or not people want to give credit to Pochettino, he did do some stuff. There's a Liverpool fan no, who I'm sure I don't know if he's gonna disagree with me, but Slot has had it easy because he inherited a squad that has Salah, and we've had this conversation before with Jordan being on. I kept saying, what would happen if Salah is not in the match? Luis Diaz was playing as a false nine, I believe, and they had a fluidity. That is something that we've seen happen even before Slot. Klopp, it was with Firmino deep lying forward, makes it fluid as well. So I think Maresca has surpassed, as Jerry just said, expectations. And because of that, he has done a better job, because the verdict was out on him. People were saying, "Oh, we got this championship manager who did this. And we've had this conversation before. He is quick to learn. I think Slot is still stubborn in terms of his approach, because there's been instances where they could have been beaten, and because of the fact that they can score goals, they are able to get the better of teams. But um Maresca has learned. He made mistakes in preseason. He took the preseason as a time to learn. We've benefited from the losses that we had, and as I said then, I prefer that we lose matches in preseason and then we win in the official season. So Slot's done an excellent job, but I think Maresca's done a better job in terms of proving the doubters wrong, in terms of being able to set up the team in a way where the mentality is there, while Slot has inherited a team that already had the mentality, and he's just continuing what has already been there. The legacy was there, and fine, you can say that it's not easy to follow somebody that's done it, but he's done something that Klopp did not do, which is to make them better defensively. So I give that team up Maresca. To make it short now, has done better. I've talked a lot, so I'm going to shut up now.
Yeah, Jordan. Yeah, Jordan, you're coming next after Marine, okay?
A big up to him, man. The chips, bro. I hope those chips will finish until you fumble that leg of yours this season, blood. Just to let you know. Eat the chips right away. But I do agree with Ty. I think both managers have done an excellent job, man. Like, guys, this Gens came in phase one. They're schooling Arteta, schooling Pep Guardiola, schooling Thomas Frank, schooling who else was supposed to compete for the league title. Sorry. They're also schooling some of the players that have the managers that have been in the Prem. So I think both managers have done an excellent job so far. Ty, I agree with Ty saying Maresca has done a better job more than any slot, because any slot came into a football club where everything was set for him. Okay, he just had to get on with it and try to win something with the team. And when it comes to our team was set in a project where we needed a manager to fix things, everything. And I think Maresca has done a very good job. So I do agree with Ty saying that Maresca has done a better job than Slot. But both I give both managers credit, man. Because they're in phase one, what Arteta can't do, they're in phase one and they're killing it in the league. Even Pep Guardiola's shocked too, bro. So I think we should give them credit.
Yeah, Jordan, what you got to say about your team?
Bald heads.
Um, where to start from right now, Garvan and you guys, man. For me especially, man, I never noticed this was going to really happen, man. These, we are just, I don't know, man. I do remember when we did drop 6 goals already before on Leeds United when they were in the Premier League. But yes, as Tyrone says about this Spurs manager, yeah, 100% I agree with him as well. But Slot, this is his first time playing Spurs. But I never know he's really going to do this to Tottenham for us to really batter and destroy them 6 goals to 3. I never know it was going to come. But yeah, indeed. But yeah, I'm very happy with the boys, with the win. Indeed, Salah. Yeah, as Tyro says, Salah, if he's not around, who's going to really be over there? I'm not really sure. And we know look into the January transfer window before he move on with his legacy in the summer. So yeah, but I'm really happy with the win though, Tyrone, and really proud of the boys indeed. But yeah, very happy, man. A good, great Christmas win for me right now. So I can chill and relax, right? And pop some popcorn on Christmas Day, right? Yeah, man, and pour some champagne, right? Yeah, with a nice, comfortable win. Up against Leicester City on Boxing Day. But yeah, I'm happy, man. I'm happy with the win. 6 goals, no problem, man. Who else? Who else left to get one? We are waiting to give it.
I'm gonna banter you right now, Jordan. You see, talking about Boxing Day, I think, and I'm gonna speak Jamaican now. I think Leicester may give you a good box on Boxing Day.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we have a ring for them. Yeah, man. If a boxing they want, they will get it, man. We're not afraid of Jamie Vardy. But yeah, I'm happy with the win, man. I'm really happy with the result, Garvan. I was even shocked, or surprised. Why never be seven, bro? It should have been seven. Surprising, man. Brace for Luis Diaz, fantastic, man, for the boys. But yeah, I'm very happy with the win, man. Happy with the result.
As I was said earlier, to be honest, I think you guys the best team right now in the league. I think it's a one horse race at this time. I'm taking my team out of it, even though people want to say that we're in the title race. But I would say after the January, and if we continue being close to you guys, then I would start want Liverpool to drop points. But this time, to be honest, I keep on wanting Liverpool to win because I definitely know that Arsenal, kind of have a little bit of idea how to run or to chase, when we just learning it. So if we fall off, I don't want the likes of Arsenal to run with it, to be honest, because London should always stay, blue. So for me, I just want you guys to continue down that path. When I win, I want you to win. Just for now. When it gets like in
Yeah,
April, the closer I'm at, when I'm
yeah.
see that Arsenal and City definitely is not in the
Mhm.
race, then I'm gonna pray that you continue to fall and I advance. You know,
Wow.
so I kind of have everything mapped out in my head how I want it to go. So at this point in time, I'm a I'm a Liverpool supporter because I definitely don't want Arsenal to win the league. When I said supporter, I mean like I'm on their side for them to continue to grow
Oh,
while we're growing.
Oh, okay, okay.
oh my
Nah, 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 nah.
God.
We were checking,
Oh, I
man.
was
Oh,
wondering.
We
I
were
was wondering
checking.
because I'm saying, what?
in that's
What?
what that's what I meant. I want Liverpool to continue to go while I'm going because
Yeah,
definitely Arsenal
Oh,
cannot win the league for me. Man
oh.
City cannot win the league. So if I
yeah,
can't win the league, I rather Liverpool to win the league. But when we definitely see Arsenal, we're like 10 points clear Arsenal. I know we're gonna get there because that Stoke football ain't gonna work every week. And then I'm gonna want to see the mighty Liverpool start to decrease and while we increase.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so, ba- so basically so basically
Yeah.
you're saying it should be like Noah Lyles and the Jamaican in the Olympics where they're alongside each other in the last minute.
He
Liverpool
was
scored. Yeah,
he was
it's like what Conte
he was
said. It's like what Conte said when he was
he was oh my god. No one else,
it's
yeah, man.
it's like what Conte said. Conte said that what you need the other teams to do well, and then you need to focus and say, okay, so we need to think that they will win the remaining match. If you want them to drop off, you need to ensure that you win because they could win all the next matches, and that's the mentality that we need. So that's why that Rescas has been saying that he's saying we're not in the title race, even though when you look at the table, you say you could say we are, but to limit the pressure and to ensure that you don't say, oh, but I'm hoping, and I'm going to say this now: if Chelsea end up being in it eventually, and then if the unlikely happens, I'm going to say that we were never in the title race because it was never a race. Remember this.
Yeah, it's not to be honest, man. That's why the Premier League is the best league in the world. We all can agree because the moments that the Premier League bring, especially this season, it's something that we all can sit here and laugh about and enjoy because the league is just so like earlier time before you come on, me and Myra we were talking about the Mo Salah conversation, you know, um, because I was saying that I think that Mo Salah should be named as the GOAT for the Premier League, to be quite honest, are in the conversation because of many reasons. Because when Terry Henry was in the Premier League, he got on the four teams to compete with. And those
Mm-hmm.
four teams, once Arsenal beat those four teams, yeah, automatically you're the champions because the
Mm-hmm.
rest, you can pick up points and score goals against them. But in most Salah time, it's more difficult because you got 20 teams and all 20 teams can turn up at any moment. It's not back
True.
in the days when you got Stoke. City and your
Mm-hmm.
Wigan and your Charlton and your Derby County, and that's a definitely 3 points. Or Thierry Henry gonna tear those defense apart. The
Yeah, and
Premier League
Swansea,
is totally different. So
yeah, and
you
Queens
can't
Park
sit here.
Rangers,
Oh, sorry, Jordan. Go ahead.
and also Queens Park Rangers as well. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So you can sit here and say that Thierry Henry is the greatest player in the entire Premier League history. You have to look on what Salah is coming up against. You have to look on what he's up against at this point in time. The Premier League is more competitive because every team in the Premier League got money, can buy players. Even if it's not world class players or big name, but can buy players that can compete in the Premier League.
yeah.
So that's why the Premier League right now is different. Back in those
Mm.
days, to be quite honest, the Premier League wasn't saying the best league in the world at that time. It was the Italian Serie A, or the German Bundesliga was really good too. But even the La Liga. But right now, the Premier League is the most toughest, the most the most hardest league to compete in right now. If you look at how much Liverpool chased on Man City, I know close they've been for so many years. It's not a one horse race like the rest of leagues. It's always
Mm-hmm.
competitive, especially in the December period. You got team floating above each other or behind each other, until they pass that gap. But the team with the bigger squad always advance to the end of it. But during the season, the early part of the season is so competitive that any team can come or rise to the top. One time, Southampton, before they get relegated, was in the top four. West Ham United was in the top four. If you notice right now, Nottingham Forest is up in the top four. And this is the last thing we're closing off on. I want to get each one of you guys' opinion on it before we close off.
If you want to go first, Tyrell, you can go ahead, man. Black beard.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean it's great. It's actually interesting, When I think about this, actually interesting because to think about the fact that in December, we're almost halfway into the season, and all that, and they're in the top, they're in the top four, and not just in the top four, no, they're properly in the top four as well. They're 8 points behind Liverpool, 4 points behind us, and 2 points behind Arsenal. I mean, it's sometimes easy to forget that Nottingham Forest have a rich history, um, and that their history is filled with European glory, unlike some clubs. I had to throw that in. So I mean, it's surprising. I mean, a lot of people didn't expect it, but I think we spoke about this in the past as well. Um, Nottingham Forest did something that many people found crazy, and it's similar to what Chelsea did as well. They signed so many players. Was it in the summer or something like that? They got around 16 or 13. I don't remember how much players they got. So you realize that they have the depth. And you don't see them getting hit with injuries. And if they do, they're able to pick, choose, and refuse any any player they want to play. So that is the thing. And I mean, it's impressive. Nuno Espirito has been doing excellent work. I think Spurs probably regret sacking him very early. I still don't understand how they sacked him months into him being there. It was crazy. But you can see he's a tactical man as well. He's a very good manager. I think many people don't give him the plaudits that he deserves. When he was at Wolves, he did a lot of great work for them. He got them into Europe a couple of seasons ago, I believe. So I think what he's doing there is incredible. And I think he's surprised a lot of people. Nottingham Forest has surprised a lot of people. And to even think that they're above Manchester City right now is crazy. Their form is tremendous as well. They've lost one match in the last five. So I mean that's impressive. And they've scored some good number of goals as well. So I'm happy for them. Although they are somewhat of a team that where they kind of bunch us, but no, we're on the same periphery as them in terms of Champions League trophies won or European Cup won. So that's a positive, but happy for them, and I'm happy that their project is also on the right trajectory, or it's going in the right direction as well.
Um, well, Nottingham Forest. This team always get me a little bit nervous when I face them, man. So yeah, I'm very proud of at Una, what Esparta Santo is doing for Forest in the Premier League, and where they are now is fantastic. They signed one of our key player that is Divo Corrigue. I don't really see him a lot, and they also for signed one of their player as well, Callum Hudson-Odoi. But yeah, he's doing a very fantastic job at Forest. But yeah, he's doing very well. Losing one game as Tyrone says, man. But yeah, they're doing very well home and away, man. I'm seeing what they're doing and they're doing very well, man. And beating us, wasn't even looking to see them beating us. We were looking to beating them, but out of nowhere they beat us. But yeah, I hope to see him play coaching Forest in the Champions League for the first time. So let's see how long he will keep them up. If he will let them qualify for Champions League for the 25-26 season. But yeah, he's a great manager, man. Big up to Una Espirito Santo. But yeah, he's doing well with Nottingham Forest.
Mm. My like I said earlier on, I don't rate Santos because hey, bro, like next season he's going to go back to that haram football, bruh. So like um, bro, I think he's done an excellent job with Nottingham Forest, man. Like considering his record at Tottenham and Wolverhampton, bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He had a decent, good run this season. Like what Jordan said, I want to see what he's going to do next season, bruh. With since he's going to get European competition, I want to see what he's gonna do. But so far so good. They're looking very strong, man. We are, especially Chelsea. We are the one team that actually are terrified of playing Nottingham Forest, especially when they come to Stamford Bridge, man. So yeah, they are very good this season. They're very decent this season. But like I said, I'm not going to, give them so much chest, bro, because it's Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest have a very rich history, like Ty said, very good history. But I think it's about time for them to come to the top flight football, man, and really play. But like what Jordan said, we have to wait and see how they're going to keep that momentum, especially playing at the top flight football. It's very hard. So we have to wait and see.
Yeah, sorry guys. I was
Didn't Origi leave Nottingham Forest though? I thought he was at AC Milan. Well, I think he's no longer training with AC Milan. His first team. I think they said he's surplus to requirements. So I don't think he's playing for AC Milan either. I don't know. Divock Origi's career has imploded.
Myra, check your email.
All right, all right.
All right, sorry, Ty. Go ahead, Ty.
Right though, it's not the case though. I think Divock Origi is no longer playing for Nottingham Forest or AC Milan. I think he was what do you call it? Not relegated, but he was demoted to some. Well, he's not in the first team at AC Milan anymore. I think what's the team, some Milan or something? I don't remember what it is.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to the end of the show. If you want to stay backstage, you can. But really appreciate Ty, Jordan, Marin, and myself. And we want to wish each and everyone happy holidays. I'm definitely gonna enjoy it, but I got a show coming up probably tomorrow about Enzo Fernandez. You
Hmm.
know, and it's gonna be a little topic that I really definitely want to talk about. I probably
Dante's favorite player.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it probably early in the morning. It depends on if Ty got a show or, I'm gonna look and see who got a show that's in this community. If not, no one got a show, then I will put the time out and probably do it early.
Oh,
So let us see what's really gonna go on then.
I can't
But
miss this. I can't miss this. I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Yeah, so I just want to say, thank you to each and every one that tuned in, and welcome back, my brother Jerry. Miss Rosie, Miss Melina, everyone was in the chat. We want to say, happy holidays to each and every one, and thank you for tuning in.
From a bad place, oh yeah. Tryna be a better me just for you. But it ain't easy, it's hard to get used to. Minding my own business, I'm not worried about what he do. Cause nowadays, all it is let me see through. I always say this is that I'm staying around people. Finding my own path like I'm writing my own sequel. Two-faced people all around, they be equal. 2021, you can never trust nobody. Good and bad thoughts on my mind, they be crowded. Pushing to get past his limits, then he see he bought it. Family work hard, but I never guess I'm found it. Came a long way in my dream, now I be drowning. They dying, I hear got some hearts pounded. Multi-talented, my passion, I haven't found it. Yeah, in my home, I was never ever doubted. I'm here from a bad place, oh yeah. Tryna be a better me just for you. But it ain't easy, it's hard to get used to. Minding my own business, I'm not worried about what he do. Cause